Hi everyone, I'm Akash Srivastav, your law mentor, and today I'm here with a very interesting topic for Strategize with Get.Set.Law. In today's session, we are going to discuss about how to score 7 plus in quants in CLAT. Okay, so without wasting time, let's start the session. So it will come in the mind of a lot of students that why exactly I'm discussing this. Being a law mentor, why exactly I'm approaching Quant Section. Okay. So taking the feedback of the students, we got to know that a lot of aspirants, a lot of students are thinking that, okay, if any quant faculty is teaching them, guiding them, that this is the procedure, this is the trick that you need to apply, it becomes very easy for the quant faculty to tell their students. But when we talk about from the perspective of the students, so what exactly is the hurdle? Why exactly they are treating quant section as not a very say good section to crack in the examination? So to understand that, I am attempting how to approach quant section, and specifically I'm not targeting that you need to score full on in quant section. So we just are focusing on how to score 7 plus, that is the bare minimum to crack the examination. Okay, so let's start. So whoever is approaching CLAT, whoever is targeting that they want to crack CLAT in the month of December, it becomes very important to understand why exactly that particular section is important. So when we talk about CLAT, there are 5 sections, and almost every student, almost all of the students are comfortable with other 4 sections except mathematics. We got the feedback from the student that they are comfortable with English, they are comfortable with reasoning, they are comfortable with legal aptitude also, and they're working for GK section. But when we talk about mathematics, we got the feedback that a lot of aspirants are not very keen in working toward this particular section. So first of all, you need to understand the importance of mathematics. When we talk about the quant section, why exactly it is important for cracking CLAT. So as we all know that so you must have attempted quant section in your school also. Okay, so you know that if you are attempting quant section, you are getting it right, then it's a sure shot score. But when we talk about other sections of CLAT, it is a quite subjective paper. Okay, it's a comprehension based paper. You may miss one or the other word. Okay, so you need to understand that if you are able to attempt this section, then you are getting score. Okay, so this is the need. And also when we talk about other 4 sections, so earlier what used to happen that the paper was of 150 marks. You were preparing for, you have to attempt at least say 130 questions in CLAT examination. But you just need to understand that all the aspirants who were preparing for a CLAT had the same thing in their mind. So they were targeting that in a span of 2 hours, they need to attempt 130 plus questions. Now, CLAT have reduced the number of questions from 150 to 120 questions. So everyone will be able to attempt the whole paper. Okay. So by choice, they will be, say, excluding n number of questions, say 5, 10, 15, 20, depending upon the student. So time is not a barrier right now. So if you are very much comfortable with other 4 sections, then also you need to focus on this section because this will be the tiebreaker. Because everyone will be doing good in say English section, in reasoning section, in legal section, and also depending upon the knowledge base, they will be doing good in GK section also. If you're not good in quant section, then if you're good in quant section, if you're able to score say 7, 8 marks in quant section, then that will give you a jump of +5 college. That's why it is very important to understand that you don't have any say scope to skip this particular section. You will have to attempt this section to get a good college in CLAT. So the next thing that should come to your mind that, okay, I got to know that quant section is very important, but what exactly I need to do in quant section? Which all areas I need to focus on? So the best resource for knowing what exactly is the expectation of the examination is analyzing past year papers. So to make things easy, I have analyzed the past year papers, past 4-year papers, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. And after analyzing these papers, I got to know that there are hardly 4 or 5 areas that they are going to focus on. I'm not saying that other areas are not important. Other, say, topics in mathematics section is not important. But in past 4 years, they have focused on these 4 or 5 areas. So the first area is, say, profit and loss. So the first area, I will write it down. So the first area is profit and loss. Next, SINCI, that is simple interest and compound interest. Then percentages, averages, and when we talk about, these are the 4 major areas: profit and loss, simple interest and compound interest, percentages, averages, and we will also include ratio. These were the 4 or 5 areas that were asked in past 3 years of CLAT. But when we talk about CLAT 2020, they have also asked about questions based on geometry. Okay, these are the major areas that you need to focus. So you don't have to focus on n number of areas. I'm not saying that you should not approach those areas, you should not study those areas, but you need to focus primarily on these areas. Once you are done with these areas, then you can focus on other areas, because we are relying on past year papers. I'm saying that this is not mandatory that they are going to ask question only from these topics, but these are highly probable topics that they're going to focus on. Now you got to know, okay, these are the 5 areas that you need to focus, that I need to study. But again, we have already covered in lectures also, we have already studied. So what exactly should be the approach toward the subject? Earlier I used to think, or the students used to think, okay, we got through the topic. When the faculty is teaching this topic in lectures, we are able to understand that. But when we go to revise, or when we go back to our place and start practicing, then we get a lot of confusion. We get a lot of, say, doubts also. So what exactly should be the approach towards topics? So when we talk about topics, you need to make a hierarchy. Okay, so you need to categorize. Okay, so first of all, I need to practice profit and loss, taking into consideration the past year papers. I will be focusing on profit and loss. Then I will be focusing on ratio and averages. I will be focusing on profit and loss, percentages. So you need to make a hierarchy that these are the 5 areas that I will be focusing on, and you need to have a strict timetable for that. So for example, if we are left with, say, 4 months, okay, in the 4 months, what exactly should be the approach? In the first month, I will be focusing on profit and loss. I will just pick 2 topics, okay, profit and loss and ratio. And then in the next month, I will be focusing on another 2 topics. And when we are talking about these topics, how exactly you need to approach? You need to go back to the basic concepts, okay. We will be discussing that how you need to categorize the topics. First of all, you need to understand that you need to go back to the basics. You need to understand the basic concepts that will be applied in that particular section. I'm not talking about prepare in such a manner that you will be able to solve all types of questions related to that topic, but at least go through the basic concept. That is the first thing that you need to do. Once you are done with the basic concepts, you need to practice basic questions, basic class exercise questions, basic questions that were made that you practice in classes also. Okay, you just need to focus on those topics. So once you are done with all the topics, all the 5 topics, and you have approached the basic concepts also, you have seen what type of formula will be applied in that particular section, then you need to practice basic types of question in that area. Now, once you got to know that these are the topics that I need to focus on, and these are the hierarchy that this is a hierarchy that I'm going to follow. Now you need to categorize that particular topic into 3 parts. Okay, so when we talk about profit and loss, I'm just giving an example. Just take an example of profit and loss. So if I'm approaching profit and loss, so the first thing will be that I'm done with the basic concepts. I know what type of formula will be applied and what exactly is the need of this particular section. Now I need to categorize the practice questions based on profit and loss into 3 parts. The first part will be A, the second will be B, and the third will be C. So A, B, C, why exactly I'm saying that? So A will be basic concepts, okay, basic types of questions that a layman can also attempt. If he or she knows the formula, then that particular person will be able to attempt that. The second will be average types of question that will be based on some application. So whatever concept you have learned in the class, whatever basic concept you have learned from the books, there will be a bit of twist in that. You will have to apply that particular formula, and there may be 2 or 3 level of types of question. The third is the difficult type of question, a tricky type of question. So you need to categorize the practice question in these 3 formats. And the first thing that every student should focus on, if your mathematics is weak, first of all, focus on A and B types of questions. Just focus on these types of questions. Once you are done with that, then we will be focusing on C types of questions. So first of all, you need to be very much comfortable with the basic concept. You know what type of concept will be applied. Then you will be focusing on basic, simple types of questions. That is a simple application of the formula. Then a bit of twist. And then the third will be a tricky question. But keep one thing in mind, you need to categorize the question, because at times it will happen that if you attempt a tricky questions, you will get demotivated. Even after knowing the basic concepts, if you're not able to solve the tricky question, that's totally fine. You need to build step by step. You need to go step by step. So once you get to know the basic concepts, then you need to see that application of those concepts, how exactly, if there is a bit of twist in that particular question, how exactly you need to solve that, and then you need to focus on tricky questions. So this is how exactly you can approach quant section. So students, you got to know that what exactly you need to do when we talk about the topics we got from the past year papers. So you will have to categorize those topics into A, B, and C types of questions, and will have to focus on basic concepts. Then A types of question, that is the basic application of the formulae. Then a bit of twist that will happen in B types of question, and then you will have to focus on tricky questions. Now the next question that will come in the mind of all the students is what exactly or which all resources we need to refer for practicing. Okay, so the first resource that will be available with all the students will be the class exercise that you will be focusing. So once you are done with the basic concept from the book, you need to practice from the class exercise. Once you are done with that, you need to practice from the practice exercise. And then once you are done with the practice exercise also, then you can focus on topic wise tests. So these are the three primary resources that you need to utilize. And once you are done with that, what you can do, you can go to past year papers also. You can see the past year papers. That will be the fourth resource. And the fifth resource will be the mock test. So whatever mock test you have attempted, so it may happen a lot of times that while attempting mock test, taking into paucity of time in a span of 2 hours, you were only being able to attempt the other 4 sections and you skipped quant section. So what you can do, for all the mock tests that happened in past, you can attempt those mock tests also. Okay, the quant section of that particular mock test. So say for example, if 15 mock tests already happened and you were not able to solve any question from the quant section, so 15 mock tests you have available with yourself. Okay, you can attempt the quant section of that particular mock test. Through that, you will be able to get a better view, a better picture of the whole paper. Okay, so the first resource will be focusing on class exercise, then practice exercise, then focusing on topic wise test, then focusing on past year papers just for the reference, and the last and the most important resource will be focusing on quant section of past mock test. So students, in today's session, we discussed about why exactly quant section is important. You can't afford to skip this section. Then we say that which will be the best resource to identify which all topics I need to prepare for quant section from past year papers. Then what exactly should be the approach towards all the topics, all the sections that we got to know from past year papers, that we need to focus first of all on the basic concepts, then basic application of that particular formula that we learned in that section. Then we will have to focus on a bit of tricky questions, and then in the end, we discussed that you need to focus on difficult or tricky types of questions. So this is the basic approach. Then we discussed that what exactly you need to do when we talk about the categorization and resources that you need to utilize for practicing quant section. So this is all related to today's session. One important thing that we need to discuss is CLAT Challenger Series 2024. So if you are preparing for CLAT examination, so this is one particular series that every student, even if you are associated with IMS or not, you need to give this particular test that will help you to understand what exactly is your level when we talk about overall competition. Okay, so there are 3 tests, 3 Challenger series, and one important also very important thing is that if you are scoring very good in this mock test, or if you are topping this particular mock test, then you will be getting the cash prize also. So for every mock test, you will be getting 15,000 rupees. So CLAT Challenger 1, 15,000 rupees, CLAT Challenger 2, 15,000 rupees, and the last 15,000 rupees. But if you are, say, getting a cumulative best score out of in all the 3 mock tests, if you are topping all the 3 mock tests, then you will be getting a cash prize of 50,000 rupees. And if you are getting a rank in CLAT examination, then you will have a chance to get up to 8 lakh rupees. So I request all the students, if you are associated with IMS or not, you need to go through these tests, you need to attempt this test to understand, to get a better view of the whole paper and to see where exactly you stand. I hope the session was informative enough. I wish all the best to everyone. Thank you.